very less number of students join, but on Facebook and YouTube,
Yeah,
there are a large number of students who will be joining us.
sure. Yeah, Dr. Das has told me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Should I try sharing the screen, like, just to check once?
Yes, you can try. That will be fine.
Just
Check.
just try once, yeah, and I just close it. Okay.
हेलो हटा दिया दोबारा फिर अपना
Okay, I can share. Yeah, no worries.
Dr. Karim, welcome. It is your area today. We are talking about.
Good morning, sir. Yes, sir. Just now I have gone to the titles also.
Yeah.
Seems it is interesting. Yeah, definitely, sir.
Yes.
हेलो ठीक 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 है तो हाँ
Should we start, Dr. Sharma?
Just in a minute, we'll start.
Yeah.
Momita, I think now we can start.
Good morning, everyone. I welcome you all to this session on financial assistance for startups with a focus on bioengineering. Today, we have with us Ms. Ritu Trivedi to deliberate on this topic. Ms. Ritu Trivedi is a startup enabler and is currently working as venture analyst at DoDash. She began her journey by working in global technology management consulting company. Ms. Ritu has been with Gujarat State Biotechnology Mission for more than 2 years, working on technology management projects and assisting in entrepreneurship support cell activities. She has more than 6 years of experience in incubation management and operations. She has worked in incubation as incubation manager at DST, Government of Gujarat, and DBT BIRAC, supported Savli Technology Business Incubation Center and Atal Innovation Mission, supported Technology Business Incubator at Gujarat, focusing on healthcare and medical devices. She has a vast experience working with various stakeholders in startup ecosystem, that is early stage innovations and startups, for developing their first proof of concept prototype, along with providing holistic support, including mentorship, network access, intellectual property rights, connecting with government agencies, etc., to deploy their products and services. She has mentored more than 50 innovators in strategic drafting for funding and commercialization proposals. She is also a mentor for biotech ignition grants and other government funding schemes of DBT and DST. She assisted the AISEA program, which is a social entrepreneurship accelerator program set up by the ITIC Foundation, IT Hyderabad, an action for India, supported by Department of Science and Technology. We welcome Ms. Ritu here to this session today. Welcome, Ms. Ritu. We also have with us Dr. O.P. Sharma, Director NCIDE. Before I invite Ms. Ritu to start her session, I would request Dr. Sharma to say a few words. Dr. Sharma, please.
Thank you, Dr. Momita, and good morning to all of you. I also welcome Ms. Ritu Trivedi for this session. It's a very important session on funding and financial assistance to the startups. And you know, this series which we have started on Facebook Live, we have planned to cover all those topics which are useful for the students who are willing to set up their enterprises or startups. And this financial assistance and funding is very important component of that, because you may be having very brilliant idea, brilliant plan to do something, but unless you have financial assistance or knowledge about the financial resources, I think those ideas may not be converted into the practical form. So in that context, we invited Ms. Ritu Trivedi, and as Dr. Momita Das has mentioned about her experience and expertise, though she has expertise in the field of bioengineering and biotechnology, but most of the funding agencies, funding resources, they are very common to all. So I would like to request her to kindly focus on these basic things which are useful for the large number of students, and you can take biotechnology as an example, but focus should be on general public, because you know, the IGNOU students are a variety of students having a different backgrounds, different programs, right from graduation to post-graduation, PhD, certificate and diploma, and spread all over the country, having different interest and different bent of mind to do something. So that's why I would like to request you to kindly make it common, useful for all, so that whatever resources or funding assistance you are going to tell, they should be useful for the students who are watching us on Facebook Live and YouTube Live. And these programs I have seen not only watched during these live sessions, after that also a large number of students are watching. So I hope today's program will also be very useful for them. So without taking much time, I would like to again welcome you and all the participants who have joined us through Facebook Live and YouTube Live, and also right now through this Google Meet. And now I hand over to Dr. Momita to take it further. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Sharma. Now I request Ms. Ritu Trivedi to start the session, please. Ms. Ritu Trivedi.
First of all, a very good morning to all of you who have joined through the platform, through the YouTube channel, live, Facebook Live. And I acknowledge and thank Dr. Sharma, Dr. Das for inviting me here as a resource person to deliver about one of the very important aspects of, startup. Like, if you have to have a startup, obviously you need that backup of funding and the resources, which is actually critical part of scaling up your startup or building up your startup. So thank you, Dr. Momita Das, for the introduction. And I have been into the startup ecosystem for last more than 6-7 years, working with Gujarat state government and working into different acceleration program and incubation program of state government, especially Gujarat. But I had a good experience, working with different incubators across India. So today, the presentation is all about the financial assistance. So the students who have joined us through the different platforms who are watching us, hope everyone can see my screen, right?
Yes, it is visible.
Yeah, I just do the slideshow. So so we have all known that, I think by this stage, and by our honorable Prime Minister mission of Startup India, Stand Up India, we all know what is startup, right? But still, I just wanted to brush up few of the basics, because I think that we always get confused into these three terms, which is called as creativity, innovation, and invention, right? So creativity, we know, anything, we think something new, something comes up, we do things differently, is called as creativity, right? But innovation, when we come to the innovation, people get confused between the terms called innovation and invention. So innovation is something which is actually implementing your creativity, and invention is something which is you are developing your product out of your innovative idea, or in the form of a service, that is called as invention. Suppose I just wanted to end this with a small example, saying that if your company develops a website, okay, there are a lot of websites, okay, but if your company develop a website for your company, so it is an invention for your company, right? It is not an innovation, because it is not something new, right? So innovation, we say that there should be a breakthrough innovation. What is breakthrough innovation? जब इंसुलिन बना, तो इंसुलिन जब बना तो क्या था? Insulin was a breakthrough innovation for the nation, for the world, for everything, right? So first of all, we need to understand that there is a difference between all the three terms, and specifically innovation and invention. So every innovation can be invention, but every invention cannot be an innovation. So it's a very tricky thing, but it's very needed to understand that. तो जब फायर डिस्कवर हुआ, तो दैट वाज अ क्रिएटिव आइडियाज, डिफरेंट वेज क्रिएटिवली the burning of fire was discovered. So from the woods, from candle, and this is how innovation grown up, and then it was converted to an invention, which is in form of a bulb. Similarly, in the mobile phones, now everyone knows that it was a pager and a very basic walkie-talkie, and then it developed to a phone. So it's very basic, the difference is the idea, it is only an idea. Creativity, invention, you are actually making something new, right? And innovation is something you are developing it, you are converting it. Okay, so in this process of innovation, we actually what we do is, why do we innovate is we identify a problem, and then we try to bring it solution, right? तो जब अभी हम पढ़ाई कर रहे होते हैं, तो हमें बहुत सारी आउट ऑफ द हमारी आसपास की जो एनवायरमेंट है, सराउंडिंग्स है, we really think that this is the problem, right? जो भी इन्वेंशन बन रहे हैं, obviously they have been accidental inventions are been obviously कि बहुत कम होते हैं, but otherwise we always feel that there is a need for the solution of this problem, right? So a very simple example I always give in all my other sessions is जब हम टोल प्लाजा पे जाते हैं, which is very common. So when we go for a toll plaza, we always used to stop by, give money, and give that change, right? So it is not needed to have a fast tag, right? जब भी हमारा introduce हुआ fast tag system, it is not needed. But why it has been? So it is sometimes it has been a problem. जब 500 जब ये notes ban हुए, तब it was a problem, people were not able to give changes. So just a very simple example that उन लोगों को realize हुआ कि we should have a fast tag. Just you can get the credit for that toll tax from this card system, right? So already foreign countries में ऐसा system available है, but still it's a need to it. So very simple, we try to why do we innovate is we try to solve a problem by bringing a solution for it. That solution can be a product or a solution. So you have to find out like what is the potential of it. We do a lot of experiment, we give more experiment, we operationalize means we go to market, test it out, customers को देखते हैं और फिर हम scale up करते हैं. तो this is the process of innovation, right? तो हमारे पास एक आइडिया आता है, फिर आइडिया को हम और आइटरेट करते हैं, उस पर बैठते हैं, डिस्कस करते हैं, रिफाइन करते हैं, and that's how we grow up. So innovation जब obviously creativity के बाद innovation आता है, तो जब innovation हम लोग के पास एक innovative idea है, but why sometimes like people really and के है ना बहुत ideas होते हैं, especially students, they really have lot of good ideas, right? Very creative ideas, and nowadays like this generation is like उनके पास इतने अच्छे ideas आते हैं, इतने creative ideas होते हैं, but वो innovation कभी next level तक क्यों नहीं जा सकते? Because of few things, like either they don't have lack of time, means either they are busy in studies, they don't have proper resources, they don't know about the ecosystem which is available. Ecosystem मतलब कि जो startup ecosystem है, जो कि help करने के लिए होता है startup idea को, वो उनको पता नहीं होता है. There is a fear of risk. Ma'am, if we do it, ma'am, what will happen? Like if the idea will not work, why the idea if does not go good, why there is no market, if there is a lot of competition, तो fear of risk होता है, right? Then there is overburden of responsibilities. हमें पता है कि हम अगर अभी the people who have joined us, they might be doing some bachelor's program, master's program, or PhD program, but obviously they have the responsibility of earning, right? Earning a consistent income to run their livelihood, right? So for that, obviously there is a burden of responsibility. Then there is a lack of business readiness, right? Even even if you have a good idea, but हमें पता नहीं होता कि is this a business ready idea? Like I have remember like one of our potential एक startup था, he came to me and running and said, ma'am, हमें एक dog का sanitization wash बनाना है. Like this is the last year, this thing I can recall. So last year एक लड़का आया and बोला, वो MBA कर रहा था. So MBA student wanted to make a dog sanitizer for dogs, and it is actually a business idea. But do you think that is it like that much commercial idea? So it is very important to evaluate. But ज़रूरी नहीं होता कि every time it should be commercial. There are some ideas which are actually social also. So there is you can have your ideas into having a potential for commercial potential, जिसमें बहुत ज़्यादा business बन सकता है, you can have lot of revenues, and there is a societal potential, which is like even if you don't earn, right, but you have the potential to benefit the society, okay, even in less money, like giving something to the society which is beneficial to the society, right? So startup मैं cover नहीं करना चाह रही हूँ, because startup everyone knows, like if we have a creativity, if we have innovation, we want to convert it into an invention, और अगर हमें एक product or service के form में जाना है, we have to float a startup और हम एक startup बनाएंगे. So there are different terms by Government of India कि हम startup क्या होते हैं, right? 5 years होते हैं, तो एक startup होता है, उसको वो benefits हो सकते हैं startup के. फिर others is like जब 10 years तक के होते हैं तो बायोटेक रिलेटेड जो होते हैं, बिकॉज उनको ज्यादा एक्सपेरिमेंट करना पड़ता है, जो मैंने प्रोसेस ऑफ इनोवेशन बताया, राइट? तो दिस इज अ स्टार्टअप एवरीवन नोज. आई थिंक अगर आपको if you go by any textbook, the definition is more or less the same. बट टुडे मतलब मैं ये कॉन्सेंट्रेट करना चाहती हूँ कि आपके पास भले आप बीएससी कर रहे हो, एमएससी कर रहे हो, तो आपको क्यों स्टार्टअप करना चाहिए, राइट? व्हाई शुड यू डू अ स्टार्टअप, राइट? तो इट्स लाइक मैम मेरे पास तो क्या है, मैंने पढ़ाई कर ली है, माई इंटरेस्ट इज टू डू सम गुड रिसर्च इनटू दिस फील्ड, दैट फील्ड, एंड आई वांट अ गुड PhD degree, I want to do a double degree, and I'll go out and will do the startup, okay? But why there is a need of startup? There is need of startup because you create value. if we work into a common a MNC company, I'm not saying you working for MNC company is good or bad. I'm just saying the pointers, like if you work for a startup, you know the basics, we in our incubation center, मेरे previous organization में, we have people coming up students who actually worked for startups. ठीक है, एक और एक career revenue होता है कि अगर आप खुद startup नहीं कर पा रहे, if you think that you are not currently capable of doing a startup, you are not currently having job, then do take up a startup job, like a job offered by a startup, because जब आप startup पे काम करते हैं, close छोटी टीम होती है, and you start learning from very small thing to a large thing, from a small basics to to a higher level. आपको छोटी से xerox करने का simple चीज है, but it is why it is important, because it is really helpful to you into your future, this thing. So we have students they who are working in startup, उन्होंने अपना experience share किया, and they have really realized that instead of doing 9 to 5 jobs, there is a lot of options which are there for working into a startup, because we have a better control on life. We know how to learn, what to learn, and explore things, right? So startup generally fail होते हैं, I'm not just banging on that you should एक तरफ है कि startup क्यों करना चाहिए, fail क्यों होते हैं. See, 21% team or personal withdrawals से fail होते हैं, 18% due to funds and money, and today we are going to cover out that कि 18% कैसे resolve कर सकते हैं, and 1% due to leverage. Okay, though my topic today is financial assistance, I just wanted to cover all this because this is really helpful to you जब आप एक प्रोजेक्ट को स्टार्टअप में कन्वर्ट करना चाहेंगे, या फिर आफ्टर योर बैचलर्स यू नीड टू डू इट. सो द एसेंशियल्स फॉर एनी स्टार्टअप इज वेरी बेसिक. आइडिया होना चाहिए, प्रोडक्ट होना चाहिए, टीम होना चाहिए, एग्जीक्यूशन होना चाहिए, राइट? सो स्टार्टअप के लिए सबसे ज्यादा जरूरी क्या क्या है कि उसके पास एक स्पेस होए, मेंटर होए, नेटवर्किंग अपॉर्चुनिटीज होए, टेक्निकल सपोर्ट रहे, मार्केट एक्सेस रहे, मेंटरिंग सेशन पीयर टू पीयर रहे. पीयर टू पीयर मीन्स विद योर कलीग यू कैन डिस्कस योर स्टार्टअप आइडिया. देयर शुड बी फाइनेंशियल सपोर्ट एंड दिस इंडस्ट्री कनेक्ट. सो दिस आर ऑल द बेसिक थिंग्स you need to have a startup. This is a connecting point to our next this thing, which is the financial assistance. So if you have a startup, if you have an idea, it is very important to think onto this basic parameters that you have to start early. You don't have to copy. You have to think about new, and you have to meet your potential co-founders. Okay, and you have to take time to understand the market or its size और customer की क्या need है. ठीक है, even if you have a good idea, हमें नहीं पता होता कि customers को क्या चाहिए, right? So I came across a very interesting this thing which I need to tell this. एक घर का खाना करके एक really में अहमदाबाद में एक survey निकला है कि this is giving a form to understand what exactly customers are needing, right? Because there are a lot of competitors for food retail, but still it is very basic thing, but still people are finding out ways to improve their business and bringing out something different to them so that they remain sustained and go ahead and scale, right? So it's very important to understand the customer. तो जब भी आप प्रोडक्ट बनाते हैं तो आपको ऐसा कुछ बनाना चाहिए कि जो कस्टमर्स या कोई यूजर्स को लव करे. ओके, और है ना, मतलब इट इज बेटर कि ऐसा नहीं कि हमने बस एक प्रोडक्ट बनाया फिर दूसरा प्रोडक्ट बनाते गए. वी शुड मेक समथिंग लेस, बट वी शुड मेक समथिंग यूजफुल. ओके, एंड इट शुड बी लाइकेबल मोर. Okay, so this is very important. Recently मतलब स्टार्टअप इंडिया की तरफ से ये सेक्टर निकला था कि जब हम प्रोडक्ट की बात करते हैं, इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टू अंडरस्टैंड द मार्केट, एंड दिस मार्केट इज you really need to know कि अभी क्या क्या चल रहा है, the recent sector क्या क्या important है. Then you all, I don't know, if you follow the startup news, if you follow the news, you get to know that artificial intelligence and robotics, travel, construction, ये सब बहुत fast growing sectors है अभी के उसमें. देन बहुत सारे सेक्टर्स हैं, जैसे कि इंडिया में आईटी सर्विस, हेल्थ केयर और एडटेक स्टार्टअप्स ये बहुत ज्यादा शेयर कवर करते हैं, राइट? एंड ऑल्सो द सनराइज सेक्टर्स इज लाइक अभी जैसे कोविड हुआ तो वी ऑल्सो गॉट टू नो दैट हेल्थ टेक सेक्टर्स बहुत ऊपर आए, देयर लॉट ऑफ फंडिंग विच इज कम अप फॉर द हेल्थ टेक सेक्टर, दो द presentation is for general, for especially if we talk about the bioengineering, the bioengineering is amalgamation of in life science, mathematics, engineering, instrumentation, all of this. You can do anything. So there is a wide scope for all the people who can actually take up and any good project. You can work on any good project and then you eventually आप एक startup में इसको float कर सकते हैं. So as I said, co-founders important जरूरी है, people होना जरूरी है, और है ना हमें हायर करना जरूरी है. It's like try not to hire, like आपको एक टीम बनाना है, like तो आपका विजन और उनका विजन एक ही उस पे रहे, वो देखिए बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट है. एंड को-फाउंडर्स इज लाइक ऐसा भी हो सकता है कि को-फाउंडर मतलब ठीक है, यू हैव अ स्टार्टअप आइडिया, आप अपने क्लास में से यू कैन डिस्कस एंड समवन फ्रॉम डिफरेंट बैकग्राउंड भी कर सकता है. ओके, अगर बायोइंजीनियरिंग का स्टूडेंट है वो टेक्निकल में अच्छा है, तो एमबीए का स्टूडेंट कैन मार्केटिंग में अच्छा है, यू कैन मेक अ कोर टीम एंड हैव योर स्टार्टअप. Okay, so it's very important to be very quick and do whatever it takes, show up, don't give up, or be courageous if you have taken a startup. The most other important thing if you have a startup is the infrastructure. Okay, especially in technology based projects, या फिर आप कोई भी ऐसा प्रोजेक्ट करना चाहते हैं जिसमें you need, obviously अगर आप IT based करेंगे तो you just need a laptop and a desk, you just need to have a good इंटरनेट कनेक्शन, यू कैन स्टार्ट अ स्टार्टअप फ्रॉम एनीवेयर, राइट? इसमें आपको ज्यादा फंडिंग की भी जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी. बट इफ यू आर वर्किंग फॉर अ टेक्नोलॉजी बेस्ड स्टार्टअप, राइट, तो आप एक बिजनेस इंक्यूबेशन सेंटर्स में जा सकते हैं. तो इंक्यूबेशन सेंटर्स अगर आपको नहीं पता है तो इट्स लाइक इट इज अ काइंड ऑफ एन इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर सपोर्ट मैकेनिज्म जो कि गवर्नमेंट ने और प्राइवेट इंस्टीट्यूट्स ने भी प्रमोट कर रहे हैं टू हेल्प नर्चर द स्टार्टअप आइडिया. जो बहुत छोटे छोटे आइडियाज होते हैं जो कि स्टूडेंट्स के माइंड में आते हैं, इट कैन बी इन माइंड्स ऑफ फैकल्टी, इट कैन बी इन माइंड्स ऑफ एंटरप्रेन्योर हु जो अपने स्टार्टअप को, अपने कंपनी को डाइवर्सिफाई भी कर सकते हैं. जरूरी नहीं है कि अगर आप अभी सिर्फ फर्टिलाइजर बना रहे हैं तो फर्टिलाइजर ही बनाते रहेंगे जिंदगी भर. यू कैन डाइवर्सिफाई ऑल्सो, यू कैन गो इनटू वेस्ट मैनेजमेंट, यू कैन गो इनटू बायो रेमेडिएशन, राइट? सो ऐसे बहुत सारे सपोर्ट मैकेनिज्म अवेलेबल होते हैं, वन ऑफ विच इज इंक्यूबेशन सेंटर, जहाँ पे आप जाके आपके आइडियाज को डिस्कस कर सकते हैं एंड यू कैन टेक योर आइडियाज टू नेक्स्ट लेवल, राइट? जो इंक्यूबेशन सेंटर्स होते हैं वो आप क्या क्या प्रोवाइड कर सकते हैं? आपको फंडिंग प्रोवाइड करते हैं, आपको इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर प्रोवाइड करते हैं, एजुकेशन रिलेटेड कैपेसिटी बिल्डिंग में हेल्प करते हैं. दे कैन हेल्प यू इन रिसर्च, लाइक अगर आप टेक्नोलॉजी बेस्ड कुछ बना रहे हैं, अगर आप एक सपोज करो एग्जांपल में देना चाहते हो, एक बायोमेडिकल डिवाइस बना रहे हैं, राइट? अगर आप एक छोटा सा सपोज मास्क बना रहे हैं, राइट, तो मास्क के लिए भी आपको कुछ एक इंस्ट्रूमेंट चाहिए या कुछ चाहिए, राइट? तो आपको इंक्यूबेशन सेंटर्स में जाके आप अगर आपको एक अच्छा इनोवेटिव आइडिया है, यू कैन अप्रोच देम. ओके, एंड दिस आर मतलब जैसे कि DST है, डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी, डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ बायोटेक्नोलॉजी, ये सारे बड़े बड़े जैसे कि नेशनल लेवल के ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस हैं, वो सब ये प्रमोट करते हैं इंक्यूबेशन सेंटर्स को टू हेल्प द स्टूडेंट आइडिया, स्टार्टअप आइडियाज टू ग्रो. और सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट मेंटरिंग. ओके, इवन इफ यू हैव अ गुड आइडिया, हमें आगे पता नहीं होता है कि वो आइडिया को कैसे आगे लेकर जाया जाए, राइट? इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टू हैव अ मेंटर ऑन टू योर प्रोजेक्ट, इवन इफ यू हैव अ स्टूडेंट, राइट? अगर आप अभी BSc सेकेंड ईयर में, MSc सेकेंड ईयर में भी हैं तो भी जैसे कि आई नो अ स्टार्टअप जिन्होंने अपना PhD प्रोजेक्ट, शी इज अ 50-year-old woman. She has done a project onto waste management, some bacterial waste management, and उन्होंने अपना PhD project जो उन्होंने बहुत साल मतलब कम से कम 10 साल पहले खत्म किया था. शी रियलाइज दैट देयर इज अ पोटेंशियल टुडे फॉर दिस प्रोजेक्ट एंड उन्होंने अपना पीएचडी प्रोजेक्ट निकाला, उनको कन्वर्ट करके नाउ शी हैज अ वेरी सक्सेसफुल स्टार्टअप एंड शी इज लाइक बैक्ड सो मेनी गवर्नमेंट ग्रांट्स. लाइक गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया के बहुत सारे ग्रांट्स उन्हें मिले हैं, उनको बहुत सपोर्ट मिलता है, बहुत सारे इनोवेशन प्राइजेस जीत चुके हैं. तो इट्स लाइक देयर इज नो एज फॉर स्टार्टिंग. सेकेंडली, आप अगर आप एमएससी का भी डिसर्टेशन प्रोजेक्ट हो, यू कैन ऑल्सो convert that into a startup. Okay, you can take up an entrepreneurship and go ahead. So there are a lot of incubation centers. So मैंने कुछ ये this is near Gujarat, so which is very successful. This is a list of it. You can also you can go to Startup India website. There is a lot of resources. I have made a list down the page that where you can have the list of the list of incubators there, so you can go directly according to your state. You can select one. Okay, so this is just an infrastructure, one of the part of it. We know कि infrastructure में हमें office space चाहिए होता है, wet space चाहिए होता है, lab space चाहिए होता है, right? And fab lab is fabrication lab और prototyping lab है. तो जिससे अगर बायो इंजीनियरिंग के प्रोजेक्ट्स हैं तो वो लोग को ये स्पेशली चाहिए होता है, जहाँ पे आप 3D प्रिंटर यूज कर सकते हो, 3D स्कैनर यूज कर सकते हो, और जो भी रिलेवेंट एक्सपेरिमेंटेशंस है फॉर बायोमेडिकल और बायोटेक, वैसे वाले जो प्रोजेक्ट्स होते हैं, सॉरी, बायोमेड, बायो इंजीनियरिंग प्रोजेक्ट्स, यू कैन मेक इट हियर. सो द सपोर्ट फनल में इट्स लाइक आपको इफ यू हैव एन आइडिया, अगर आप एक एंटरप्रेन्योर बनना चाह रहे हैं, आप एक स्टार्टअप फ्लोट करना चाह रहे हैं, तो आपको एक्सपोजर, इफ यू कैन हैव द आइडिया राइट फ्रॉम यूनिवर्सिटी, कॉलेज और स्कूल. Okay, and this support funnel is exactly the startup ecosystem which I'm talking about. So it is like all over India mein there is a fully fledged startup ecosystem being developed. There are incubators. Okay, जैसे कि आपके पास स्टार्टअप है तो आप इंक्यूबेशन को अप्रोच करो. देयर इज पॉलिसीज, ओके, जो बहुत सारी स्टार्टअप पॉलिसीज होती हैं जो कि हेल्प करती हैं आपको आइदर फाइनेंशियल असिस्टेंस के लिए, एनी अदर सपोर्ट विच इज रिलेटेड टू मेंटरिंग के लिए. देयर आर लॉट ऑफ प्रोग्राम्स. जैसे एक्सेलरेशन प्रोग्राम, आप एक लेवल तक स्टार्टअप पहुंच जाते तो आप एक्सेलरेशन, जैसे हम गाड़ी में एक्सेलेटर मारते हैं, राइट, टू टेक इट फॉरवर्ड, लाइक हमको टू स्पीड अप, राइट, वैसे ही फॉर स्टार्टअप वी नीड एन एक्सेलरेटर टू speed the process to entry into the market and get benefit. Okay, then there is lot of need of industrial market linkages जो कि गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया बहुत से स्कीम के थ्रू इंट्रोड्यूस करता है, जो कि हम देखेंगे. एंड देयर इज अ स्केल अप, लाइक so obviously स्केल अप में यू नीड रेगुलेशन का प्रोसेस आता है. तो अगर हम एक ई कॉमर्स स्टार्टअप कर रहे हैं तो आई डोंट थिंक, अगर हमें एक वेबसाइट बनाना है, देयर इज नो सच रेगुलेशन, या बट यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड सम पॉलिसीज, यू नीड हाउ टू फ्लोट इट अप. Okay, so obviously we know that अगर हम e-commerce करेंगे, there is you have to have some innovation in order to sustain the competition, right? एक simple example, like if you know, like very basic example, like अगर हम देखें कि एक Domino's pizza वाला है, right, even if he has lot of competitors into the market, but they find different strategies to in form of different advertisement, understanding their customer needs, and they then kind of pivot their business model. Pivot मतलब जैसे कि COVID-19 में every businesses were doing offline, and people were having come to the shop, take it, right? But now they have pivoted मतलब उन्होंने अपने business model को change किया और अब वो offline से online जा रहे हैं, right? Why? Because in order to in startup ecosystem, this thing world, you have to pivot yourself, you have to see different, you have to add value, right? So it's very important. And for all of this thing, the most important thing and the main theme of this webinar is funding support. Okay, so how basic question, how to fund your startup? Okay, if you don't have cash in your wallet, what do? How to start? Okay, how do you start raising capital for your idea? The most important thing is, like, so during the startup life cycle stage, there is, you can see this stage, right? So as you can see in the presentation, that from idea to the late stage, we need money. Okay, we need funding, we need the assistance, which is in form of financial assistance. Okay, so there are a lot of we can say avenues where we can get the financial assistance for a startup. Okay, so you can see from in idea stage generally हम personal savings use करते हैं, right? अगर हमें start करना है तो obviously we'll have use our saving. If I just wanted to have a startup onto making a suppose making a small fertilizer kind of a thing, okay, and I'll use my money, I'll ask my parents, I ask my friends, okay, and so it's like we use into our family, okay, but if we wanted to grow up idea, we can't sustain by that. We obviously look for avenues where we can get the monies, right? So for that, जब एक seed stage होता है, जब आपका एक idea थोड़ा validated लगता है कि हाँ इसका market है, then that is called as a seed stage. तो आप कहाँ से पैसे ले सकते हैं? तो in that case we approach government. Okay, government grants मिलते हैं, loans मिलते हैं. I think everyone knows the difference between loans, grants. Okay, grants we don't have to repay back. It is given by government to use it to make your project. Okay, and loans is something where you have taken, suppose बोलते हैं ना bank से we have taken loan. Okay, so loans are something which we have to repay back of some. Okay, and then so the difference is this thing. So there we go for government grants, we go for incubator जो कि हमें seed grant provide करती है to work on to our idea, और उसको एक prototype level तक हम उसको लेके जाए, right? तो एक idea से prototype level तक जाने के लिए we really need grants which is supported by government. You either use your savings. बहुत सारे startup ideas ऐसे होते हैं जो खुद के savings भी use करते हैं, but why not explore the startup ecosystem जो government ने इतना strong बनाया है और बना रहे हैं और भी, right? So there are government grants, then there is business incubator environment, bank loans. Okay, जब हम mid stage आते हैं, जब there are companies established, then obviously there's a need of some grant which is in form of a loan, which is like obviously in a higher amount. And in late stage we explored investors, angel investors. So angel investors, investors हमने सुने होंगे जो हमारी कंपनी में इन्वेस्ट करते हैं, right? So investors are something which help our company to maybe taken into maybe the highest scale level, right? So angel investors वो होते हैं जैसे कि आप एक presentation दे रहे हैं, कहीं पे pitch कर रहे हैं, and suppose someone is interested into idea. Okay, they are not known by many of them, but they are sitting into your presentation, and suppose they like your idea, they'll come up to you and ask that we are really interested in your idea and we will approach. Even you can have a list of angel investors. There is a list available, you can explore that, but that comes जब आपका idea बहुत ज़्यादा validated हो जाता है, product market में है, आप revenue show करो, तब ये चीज़ आती है. So a very cut shortly, family, friends, personal savings, venture capital, government grants, angel investors are something which we look for grants. Okay, so this is just a flow chart. Basically, this grants are for technology startups, but even if you want to have anything which is little bit innovative, I think you can approach any of the grants. So across the value chain, from idea to proof of concept. Okay, so this as you can see, we have 6 stages, and across the 6 stages, okay, this is not tech. आपको PhD या फिर आपको research करना है, this is not about this. This is about startup grants. So there's a difference. Okay, सब लोग सोचते हैं कि PhD का project हम incubator में जाके कर लेंगे, तो मतलब it's not like that. अगर आप एक project को आगे ले जाना चाह रहे हैं, आप startup में float करना चाहते हैं, उसको obviously कोई type का एक potential होना चाहिए, ताकि वो commercially लोगों आप उसको sell कर पाएं, इसके market value होनी चाहिए, आप इसको societal potential होना चाहिए, या वो product या सर्विस के फॉर्म में बेच पाए. ठीक है, हम हमेशा रिसर्च, वी डू रिसर्च, बट वी डोंट टेक इट to convert it into a product or service, right? So idea में there is a grant called as entrepreneurship in residence grant. ठीक है, फिर proof of concept में we have which is like 5 lakh से start होता है to I can say for prototype 50 lakh तक का रहता है. तो उसमें there are granted aid, फिर DSIR की scheme में we'll go through all the scheme. Then is a Prayas scheme, then there is a Nidhi seed fund. फंड. So यहाँ पे जो सीड फंड जो इंक्यूबेटर्स प्रोवाइड करते हैं, we can get that. Okay, generally तो जब हम कॉलेज से पास आउट होते हैं, the first thing we can't just approach any investor, right? We have to first develop the product. So in that case, all these grants like जो seed funds होते हैं वो आपको बहुत यूज होते हैं, right? Seed funds means जैसे कि एक छोटा सा पौधा अगर ग्रो होना चाहता है, that is like obviously coming up, a plant comes from a seed, right? वैसे एक startup, if it has to grow, there is need of an ecosystem. जैसे we pour water into a seed to grow to a plant. वैसे so these are all the grants will see. Okay, so generally government of India के grants होते हैं और state government. So currently today we are only focusing on grants. Okay, so just for to start up, right? We are not focusing on investors, angel investors, and because this is like बहुत आगे जाके, like you know, down the line you need this to know about the angel investors. Currently to start your idea आप कैसे start कर सकते हैं? The first the Startup India seed fund स्कीम अभी बहुत ही इनिशियली रिलीज हुई है, आई थिंक 1 or 2 months पहले. सो दिस इज यू नो यू कैन बी एनी स्टार्टअप, आप कोई भी स्टार्टअप हो, आप यू कैन अप्लाई टू दिस स्कीम. ओके, सेक्टर एग्नोस्टिक का मतलब होता है कि आप कोई भी सेक्टर से बिलोंग कर सकते हैं, राइट? इट इज नॉट दैट आपको एक पर्टिकुलर बायो रिलेटेड होना चाहिए, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. आप कोई भी सेक्टर्स में है, यू कैन अप्लाई. ओके, आपको कोई फिजिकल इंक्यूबेशन की जरूरत नहीं है, मतलब आपको ऐसे जरूरी नहीं है कि आपको इंक्यूबेटेड होना चाहिए, बट आपको स्टार्टअप होना चाहिए, राइट? इट इज आई थिंक द मैंडेट ऑफ दिस. ओके, एंड आप है ना इससे फाइनेंशियल असिस्टेंस ले सकते हैं फॉर 3-4 things, right? You can see proof of concept मतलब आइडिया से एक पर्टिकुलर स्टेज पे जाते हैं जब आपका जो कॉन्सेप्ट है वैलिडेटेड है, राइट? इसका लिटरेचर सर्वे हो चुका है, दिस इज लाइक वर्केबल, यू हैव डन प्रीलिमिनरी एक्सपेरिमेंटेशन, ऑल ऑफ दैट, ठीक है? उसके बाद उसका प्रोटोटाइप बनाते हैं, ओके, और उसके बाद प्रोडक्ट ट्रायल्स और मार्केट एंट्री और कमर्शियलाइजेशन. ओके, सो ऑल द स्टेजेस आर वेरी कॉमन इन ऑल द स्टार्टअप्स. ओके, तो आप ये सारे स्टेजेस के लिए आप ग्रांट ले सकते हैं, ठीक है? अगर आपके पास कुछ आइडिया है, आपने थोड़ा बहुत रिसर्च किया, प्रूफ ऑफ कॉन्सेप्ट के लिए आपको ग्रांट चाहिए, यू कैन अप्लाई टू द स्कीम. सो दिस स्कीम कैसे ऑपरेट होती है? ये अक्रॉस इंडिया अवेलेबल है, ओके, बट हाँ, दिस ऑपरेट्स टू incubators, so that's why I introduced incubators in this presentation. The reason I emphasized it because many of the schemes of Government of India or the state governments are run through their incubation centers or the entrepreneurship support cells, or they have affiliated this thing. So you have to be into something in the incubation centers. Okay, few of the schemes जो national innovation policy, startup policy जो है गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया की, उसमें तो हायर एजुकेशन इंस्टीट्यूट्स है, उनको दे हैव लेवरेज टू गिव ग्रांट्स टू द स्टूडेंट्स. ओके, जैसे कि विल सी दैट गवर्नमेंट ऑफ गुजरात की पॉलिसी है which is called a student startup innovation policy, तो 2 लाख का ग्रांट देती है फॉर स्टूडेंट्स. ओके, सो दैट इज ऑपरेशनल बाय the institutes also. Okay, otherwise incubators और ये सारी चीजें आपको हेल्प करती है. तो obviously आप MSc करते वक्त सिर्फ आपके पास एक नेव आइडिया रहेगा, आप थोड़ा बहुत काम कर पाएंगे because you have to study also, but after your masters or after your some degree you can approach any of the incubator. जैसे इस स्कीम में कहा है कि you don't have to be physically present there, so you can work on to it. So it is run through a nodal agency which we call as Department of Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade, and through that you can actually apply. अब incubators में आप 3 incubators तक approach कर सकते हैं to get benefit of the scheme. So you can get up to 20 lakh as grant for proof validation of proof of idea. Validation of proof of concept मतलब कि आपने कुछ एक आइडिया बना लिया है, idea in the sense of you have done some experimentation, you know that you want to present it. जैसे कि example, I wanted to know that mushroom has lot of benefits, right? So vitamin D से के लिए बहुत benefit रहता है, right? It's very basic example. So with mushroom से मैं vitamin D के बिस्किट बना सकती हूँ, right? तो I have done my basic research. जैसे कि मैंने एक I've done some studies onto that vitamin D का क्या क्या parameters है. There is some experimentation been done like vitamin D की कितनी percentage निकल पाएगी कौन से different mushrooms से, right? And then you wanted to turn it into different things. Then so for validation, for testing and all, I can apply for this grant. Okay, so this is like 20 lakhs तक का for the basic thing. Okay, और milestone based generally सारे grants रहते हैं. Obviously एक milestones रहते हैं. This milestone 1 में आपको ये achieve करना है, 2 में ये achieve करना है, kind of thing. Then 50 lakh तक का grant है for market entry, commercialization, scaling up. Obviously the amount increases when you have a mature startup. Okay. Then Ministry of Science and Technology, Government of India की तरफ के अंदर जो 3 umbrellas हैं, basic umbrellas, the Department of Biotechnology, Department of Science and Technology and Department of Scientific Industrial Research, ये तीनों की तरफ से बहुत सारे ऐसे grant schemes हैं जो आपके प्रोजेक्ट को आगे ले जाने में हेल्प करते हैं. The very basic scheme which is like very the very important organization which help implementation of such schemes is BIRAC. Okay, आपको ये लग रहा होगा कि बायोटेक्नोलॉजी लिखा है, but actually ये सिर्फ बायोटेक्नोलॉजी प्रोजेक्ट्स ही नहीं करता, इसमें बायोमेडिकल, बायोइंजीनियरिंग, आपका कुछ भी लाइफ साइंसेस रिलेटेड हो, anything which is have some bio into it can be worked into it. If you have bioinstrumentation, if you have bioelectronics, अगर कुछ भी ऐसा है तो आप कर सकते हैं, right? अप्लाई. तो इसमें the very basic scheme is called as BIG, which is Biotechnology Ignition Grant. तो ये है ना every year twice ये कॉल पर प्रपोजल ओपन होता है. ओके, सो करंटली आई थिंक 17 और 18 राउंड चल रहा है, राइट? तो 17 कॉल फॉर प्रपोजल मतलब कि जैसे कि अभी ये 2021 है तो उसमें एक राउंड जनवरी में निकल गया, अब दूसरा राउंड आएगा जुलाई अगस्त में, राइट? सो दिस इज फंडिंग फॉर योर प्रोजेक्ट. सो अगर आप देख पाएंगे तो इसमें लिखा है कि आप डायग्नोस्टिक का कुछ कर सकते हैं, हेल्थ केयर, ड्रग फॉर्मुलेशन, एग्रीकल्चर, सेकेंडरी एग्रीकल्चर, वेस्ट मैनेजमेंट, सैनिटेशन, क्लीन एनर्जी, कुछ भी आप करना चाहें तो आप कर सकते हैं. तो इंडिविजुअल एंटरप्रेन्योर जिसकी बेसिक डिग्री कोई भी डिसिप्लिन में हो सकती है, वो एक रिसर्च स्कॉलर भी हो सकता है, वो साइंटिस्ट भी हो सकता है, कोई भी अप्लाई कर, इवन फैकल्टीज कैन अप्लाई दिस. एंड उसके अलावा इट इज नॉट नेसेसरी कि आपको स्टार्टअप होना चाहिए. सो दिस इज लाइक वेरी बेसिक. अगर आपको रियली में इनोवेटिव आइडिया, आप मास्टर्स कर रहे हैं, आपके प्रोजेक्ट को रियली आपके जो डेजिटेशन प्रोजेक्ट है या आपके कोई भी प्रोजेक्ट को आगे ले जाके जाना चाहते हैं तो दिस इज द बेस्ट स्कीम टू अप्लाई. Okay, some sectors do not fall like very basic sectors. अगर आपको वेब ई-कॉमर्स में जाना है या फिर बिजनेस फैशन रिटेल करना है या ऐसा कुछ करना है तो इट्स नॉट पॉसिबल. बट अदरवाइज अदर सेक्टर्स है, एग्रीकल्चर, बेसिक वेस्ट मैनेजमेंट रिलेटेड भी यू कैन अप्लाई टू दिस. ओके, सो दिस इज अप टू 50 लाख तक यू कैन गेट अ ग्रांट. ओके, दिस इज अ ग्रांट अगेन आई एम सेइंग. सो यू कैन अप्लाई टू इट वेरी इजी. यू जस्ट हैव टू एन ऑनलाइन एप्लीकेशन. ओके, और आप ये जो ग्रांट है डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ बायोटेक्नोलॉजी का जो सपोर्टेड सेंटर है बायरैक, वो ऑपरेट करते हैं और उन्होंने कुछ एजेंसीज बना के रखी हैं जो कि उनके पार्टनर्स है जो हेल्प फैसिलिटेट करते हैं फॉर दिस ग्रांट. इज लाइक CCAM, विच सेंटर, KITT, FITT, साइन, ऑल ऑफ दिस थिंग. ओके, जो कि हेल्प करते हैं टू प्रमोट दिस स्कीम एंड हेल्प स्क्रीन द प्रपोजल्स. ओके, मेंटर जो प्रपोजल्स आते हैं फिर वो जाते हैं बायरैक को एंड देन आफ्टर 2 राउंड्स यू गेट योर फंडिंग. ओके, सो दिस इज द फर्स्ट as you can see this is ignition is to kickstart your project, right? उसके अलावा there are other grants by BIRAC जो कि further level after you have done your some basic research. There are kind of schemes which is called as SIBRI and BIPP. So these are generally for the ones like as an institute of apply. If any institute wanted to apply in collaborations with any industry, academia or something, so academia can combine with any of the company and they can apply. So this is also like you have they give you more than 50 lakh up to grants. So it is like up to 1 crore or 2 crores you can get, and it can go higher and higher based on to your project. Okay, so these are different alternatives. I think for students this is not that beneficial, but this is this. Then if you have very societal innovation, right, अगर आपको जैसे कि waste to value, right, very basic waste to value, say you wanted to do something, okay, lifestyle, health and improvement, agriculture tools बनाने हैं, okay, and you wanted to, this is एक very common thing है, post harvest losses, right, जैसे कि we you know कि हम लोग store करते हैं fruits after cutting, after harvesting, right, and after that we transport it, so there is a lot of losses happening. You can really see the figures, and it's very disturbing that this many of the produce has been lost due to the storage or transportation or something like that. So for that also there are a lot of technologies which has been explored, and it has been coming up to cure this, to cure this problem. So you can apply to this grant, which is called a SPERSH. So SPERSH is related to social innovation, okay, and it is also up to 50 lakh ka grant मिल सकता है, and it is like you can get 50 lakh cost from your grant, and again it's like there are many schemes under into it. Academia can apply, company can apply, and all of these things. So this is related to societal innovation, okay. So this is one thing. So startups can apply into this scheme. So इनका एक चीज है, but they have some themes every year. So this themes sometimes keep on changing. Okay, sometimes they have maternal health, sometimes they have soil health, sometimes they have anything like So currently they have like any startups can apply, any of the projects can apply into this thing. Okay, then there is lot of grants for startups with this, like, which is by Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana. So this is not grants, this is called loans. This is category 1, 2, 3. You can see they can get 50,000 for new business, mid-age business up to 5 lakh, and 10 lakh for Tarun category. Okay, but so the difference is, as I've said, that there's a difference between grant and loan. So for student, the most beneficial financial assistance is grant. So you should explore, and there are a lot of it. Okay, then we focus on to science and technology ke jo grants. So science and technology has lot of grants which is like very generic. Any engineering student can apply, anyone can explore this. So there, this is a technology development board ka seed support scheme. So as I said, like after your, in their initial stages, the grant available is in the form of a seed. Okay, seed grant. तो उसको हम seed grant बोलते हैं. उसके बहुत सारे schemes हैं जो कि different organizations, they have their schemes which is in form of seed support. So either they implement through any nodal organization, okay, any organization who manages these funds, okay, or they are managed by incubation centers, okay. So this is Gujarat mein, I know you can also get this list from the Department of Science and Technology website कि आप कहाँ कौन से organization में जाके apply कर सकते हैं nearby to your institute or nearby to your place where you're staying. So just for Gujarat, I know that there is CII Ahmedabad and NDBI Ahmedabad has these 2 incubators which manage this fund. So you can go apply there, okay, and उनकी screening होती है. So the main basic process is wherever you apply, you have to fill up the form. You go through a basic screening or the screening mechanism which has already been developed, and then if everything goes well, then the grant has been released, either milestone based or something like that. So seed support scheme is like equity based grant. Is like equity based means you have to give equity to, like, obviously the organization which actually gives you grant. So minimum is 1 lakh and maximum is 25 lakh. This is also, we can say, the kickstart grant to start up. Then NSTDB जो कि technology entrepreneurship promotion के लिए I think the main organization actually promotes the science and technology entrepreneurship promotion through various schemes, and currently they are called as Nidhi schemes. So Nidhi schemes maybe there is a seed support grant जो कि early stage investment में help करते हैं. The only thing is you have to be incubated in an incubator जो कि Nidhi supported incubator, right? तो Nidhi से जो incubator recognized है, you can get the list of it from the website, PST की website से, NSTDB की website से, where 25 lakhs to 100 lakhs तक का grant date आपको मिल सकता है, okay, and you can get, there are different institutes. I think there's a list. I can't show it here, but there's a list of institutes where you can approach for Nidhi grants, Nidhi seed support grants. Okay, but you have to be incubator. Then the other is entrepreneur in residence. This is very interesting. ठीक है, जो कि graduate हो रहे student, उनको अगर अपना entrepreneurship करना है, and उनको they also wanted to learn if they're studying or they're going to pass out. Okay, and generally after our studies, like we try to find a job, but this scheme can help you get fellowship for your project. Okay, obviously जब हम startup करते हैं तो हमारे पास कुछ पैसे नहीं रहते, right? तो it's very much necessary कि हमें एक back support मिलता है. So this grant can help you get the fellowship to earn and also work onto your project. Okay, so this is why it is called entrepreneur in residence. Is you have to be incubated and work into an incubator. So आजकल इतना बहुत ज़्यादा ज़रूरी नहीं है. Have to be physically incubated. There are many options: virtual incubation, physical incubation, and depending on your need, you can go and come. So this is like आपको 10,000 से 30,000 तक का fellowship मिलता है for a period of 12 months. Okay, and you have to apply through TBI. So इन सारे जितने भी स्कीम्स मैंने बताया उन सबका एक कॉल फॉर प्रपोजल होता है. कॉल फॉर प्रपोजल मीन्स दे अनाउंस दैट दिस इज द स्कीम, कॉल फॉर प्रपोजल इज लाइक दिस इज द स्कीम open now. You can actually apply to the scheme. You can actually fill the application and submit it. Okay, so this screening happens. Okay, some grant or some scheme, there are very few which are open round the year. Okay, but some they actually advertise it in newspapers or onto their websites that abhi ye wala scheme open hai, we are doing a screening, you can apply through it. So every incubator have their own call for proposal. So in Gujarat Venture Studio Ahmedabad University में जो है, again CIIE, that is IIM Ahmedabad का जो incubation center है, वो नीति entrepreneur in residence वाला program चलाते हैं. Okay, so you can actually go there, work, and you can earn fellowship and also work onto your project. Okay, then other interesting for students is Nidhi Prayas. Okay, Prayas मतलब जैसे हम effort, मतलब we are trying to do something, making effort. So it's like promoting and accelerating young and aspiring innovators. Okay, so जब आप बहुत छोटा सा जो innovative idea है उसको prototype में convert करना चाहते हैं तो you need some kind of grants. Okay, obviously जो मैंने entrepreneur in residence था, that is fellowship program which अगर आप कर रहे हैं, okay, and you just need some fellowship for that, right, in order to sustain for that particular time, जब तक आपका startup बनता नहीं है. और प्रयास में it is for your project. Okay, so this prototype grant is maximum of up to 10 lakh. Okay, आप जो 10 लाख तक का, जैसे मैंने बायरैक जो BIG बायोटेक्नोलॉजी इग्निशन ग्रांट बताया आपको up to 50 लाख तक का देता है. वैसे ये प्रोटोटाइप बनाने के 10 लाख होता है. ये इसमें this no sectors, mostly it is like no sector agnostic. Probably there are few exception के कौन अप्लाई कर सकता है कि नहीं, you just need to go through the guidelines. Okay, application again इसमें भी जो टेक्नोलॉजी बिजनेस इंक्यूबेटर्स होते हैं जो कि निधि जो NSTDB ने जिनको रिकॉग्नाइज किए हैं उनके अंदर होते हैं, जो इसमें IEC IIT गांधीनगर में जो इंक्यूबेशन सेंटर है और वंच स्टूडियो है उनके पास ये वाला ग्रांट है. Okay, then again a very another organization DSIR, that is Department of Science and Industrial Revolution. तो DSIR का एक बहुत ही interesting scheme है which बहुत like it has been run from a lot year. So इनका है एक PRISM करके, this is called as promoting innovations in individual startups and MSME. So across, अगर आप individual हैं, startup हैं या MSME है, तीनों जन apply कर सकते हैं. Who can apply? It is open to anyone, any Indian citizen having an innovative idea, उसको एक प्रोटोटाइप में कन्वर्ट करना है, then you can apply to this. Okay, first areas इनके कुछ हैं, but probably they are covered. Okay, so this is phase 1. So there is 3 phases into the scheme. So phase 1 is like category 1 is like, you know, अगर आपको proof of concept prototype के लिए grant चाहिए तो आपको 2 लाख का grant मिल सकता है. Category 2 में अगर आप है ना, आपके पास एक prototype बना हुआ है, उसको working model में convert करना है, testing कराना है, trial कराना है, तो category 2 में कर सकते हैं. ओके, और उसी में ही फेज 2 में आप 50 लाख तक का ग्रांट ले सकते हैं, राइट. सो एलिजिबिलिटी जैसे मैंने कहा, देयर इज एनी इंडियन सिटीजन कैन अप्लाई. ओके, और आप प्रिज्म कैटेगरी 1 में अप्लाई करिए, फिर आप सक्सेसफुल कैटेगरी 2 में करिए. ओके, the focus sectors are anything green technology, sewage management, clean energy, anything. Okay, I think software related शायद नहीं कर सकते हैं, but otherwise you can do that. Okay, so these are all the grant schemes of Government of India, and the last and I just wanted to focus on to Government of Gujarat के अगर कुछ schemes हम देखना चाहे तो एक बायोटेक पॉलिसी है जो GSPTM ने बनाई है. If you have a biotech project related to anything, you can apply to this scheme. Then for electronics, जैसे कि IT policies होती हैं. I know about the Gujarat's IT policy, then which is operated by Gujarat Informatics Limited, so you can apply to that. Okay, so this is you can जो ये जो policies होती हैं उनसे आपको क्या क्या benefits मिल सकते हैं. Generalize अगर मैं आपको बताना चाहूँ तो स्टैम्प ड्यूटी, रजिस्ट्रेशन, लीज, इंटरनेट सब्सिडी, पेटेंट असिस्टेंस. ओके, इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट कि आप अगर आप स्टार्टअप बना रहे तो ऑब्वियसली आपका आइडिया पेटेंट करे तो पेटेंट असिस्टेंस मिल सकता है. मार्केटिंग प्रोडक्ट डेवलपमेंट असिस्टेंस मिल सकता है, प्रोटोटाइप प्रोडक्ट डेवलपमेंट मिल सकता है, और डिफरेंट सपोर्ट सिस्टम्स लाइक दैट. ओके, फिर एक गवर्नमेंट ऑफ गुजरात की एजुकेशन डिपार्टमेंट ने एक जो पॉलिसी बनाई है जो मैं आपको पहले भी बता रही थी, विच इज स्टूडेंट स्टार्टअप एंड इनोवेशन पॉलिसी. ओके, इट्स एप्लीकेबल ओनली टू स्टूडेंट्स एंड इट हैज, इफ यू हैव एन इनोवेटिव आइडिया और वो कमर्शलाइजेशन के लिए पोटेंशियल है, देन यू कैन अप्लाई. ओके, आप अपनी यूनिवर्सिटी में, इंस्टीट्यूट में अप्लाई कर सकते हैं. यू कैन गेट अप टू 2 lakhs फॉर स्टार्टिंग योर आइडिया, मतलब working on your idea. Okay, so even it is extended up to 10 lakhs also, मतलब extended grant है. और IPR support के लिए भी you can apply to this scheme and you can get up to 5 lakh for international patent and 25,000 for domestic patents. Okay, then so I think all the states of India have different startup policies. I think Kerala has, Maharashtra has. So all of them has different policies. You can actually search to their policies. You can apply. Okay, I just wanted to give an idea that के बहुत सारी schemes होती हैं जो startups और innovation को assist करने के लिए helpful होती है. जैसे कि गुजरात में एक है जहाँ पे आप 15 लाख तक का assistance ले सकते हैं. आप इससे raw material खरीद सकते हैं, components खरीद सकते हैं to develop your prototype. Marketing assistance up to 15 लाख तक का ले सकते हैं, और कुछ लोगों को वो लोग एक kind of sustenance allowance भी देते हैं, which is in the form of 10,000. तो ये जो scheme है that has been run by Nodal Institute, मतलब this is run by इंडस्ट्रीज कमिश्नरेट. ओके, और उन्होंने 33 नोडल इंस्टीट्यूट्स बनाए हैं जो कि ये पॉलिसीज में डिस्पर्स करते हैं अमाउंट. ओके, सो यू कैन अप्रोच टू एनी 33 ऑफ द नोडल इंस्टीट्यूट. यू कैन गो टू startupgujarat.com एंड वहाँ पे जाके आप स्कीम के बारे में पढ़ सकते हैं. यू कैन गो थ्रू एनी ऑफ द नोडल सेंटर्स, अप्लाई थ्रू देम. Okay, so it's maybe any individual can apply, any group of individual having innovative idea can apply. Okay, और कोई भी apply कर सकता है. So this is the I think probably I've not covered the schemes which are being run by different state governments for assistance to startups, but try if you're really looking forward for assistance from state policies, state government policies, आप उनकी websites पे जा सकते हैं. You can actually search for Startup India, and यहाँ पे you can go to search for any state and you can actually apply to any of the policies which are there. Okay, so these policies are very sector agnostics. Like आपको it's not necessary you have to be in one sector. आप mostly सारी policies के लिए apply कर सकते हैं. But the only important thing in all, like obviously जब startup आप बोलते हैं तो there should be some innovation. We can't say that it should be highly innovative. Okay, but there should be some innovation. Little bit innovation should be there. Okay. So I just wanted to end this presentation by giving you few case studies. Okay, so I don't know if you have heard of this. So there's a startup called as Exio Biosolutions. Okay, तो मैं उनकी story आपको बताना चाहूँगी. तो he was also a student graduate BTech जिससे उन्होंने किया था. Okay, and he just don't wanted to follow the novel tradition. Okay, so generally when we ask people, students, what they wanted to do, either they wanted to do a job after MSc, or either they wanted to go for final study to take up a higher studies, either they want to get settled down, get married, or whatever it is. But this person said no, I don't want to do a higher study, no job, no research. Okay, and he found that he had made a roam around the world, seen few things. Okay, and उन्होंने एक entrepreneurship development program अहमदाबाद में रन होता है, उन्होंने वो ज्वाइन किया और उन्होंने वहाँ पे there you have to take up a project and he has chosen a project to do something on instant bandages. ठीक है, अब उनके he doesn't want to develop a technology. Okay, so there was no fund, he was having no technology. And obviously जब आप bandage बनाते हो तो you know that in any healthcare you need regulation और बहुत सारी चीजें रहती हैं और उसके पास कोई टीम भी नहीं थी. ठीक है, this guy is from Kochi, अहमदाबाद आ रहा, obviously you can understand कि उसके पास कोई टीम नहीं है. So how he has proceeded is like he actually still he started and he has got some funding from initial investors. He has approached few of just okay, you want to be into my startup, join. I don't have money to pay now, but later on he has made him the co-founder and like that he has actually got the team dheere dheere and he actually bagged many awards and now his company has branches into all across the world. Okay, and उनकी टेक्नोलॉजी के बारे में अगर few seconds में बताऊं तो this is an instant bleeding stop bandage. Okay, जो ambulances और जैसे अगर आप एक्सीडेंट हो जाए तो तुरंत bleed stop करने के लिए, तो this technology फॉरेन में अवेलेबल थी जो 4,000 रुपए की थी and he has made in India in rupees 400, only 400. Okay, so he has many products now, he's globally recognized, he has a lot of team now and जिन्होंने इन पे पैसे डाले थे जो वेंचर फंडिंग कैपिटल फर्म ने उन्होंने 7 गुना उन्होंने has returned back. So you can see, so he's won this award, Samsung Innovation Award, and he is a lot of market now. Then a very interesting, जैसे कि एक स्ट्रिंग फाइबर कंपनी है, so they have just recognized कि मीथेन जो कि बायोगैस का एक प्रोडक्ट है उसको हम कन्वर्ट कर सकते हैं एनिमल न्यूट्रिशन से. एनिमल न्यूट्रिशन में तो दे स्टार्टेड मेकिंग समथिंग प्रोटीन बेस्ड एनिमल न्यूट्रिशन प्रोडक्ट. तो ये जस्ट यूज प्लेटफॉर्म और इंजीनियरिंग यूज करके एंड उन्होंने अपना टेक्नोलॉजी बनाया, उनको भी बहुत सारे ग्रांट मिले हैं. इट इज वन ऑफ द हॉट स्टार्टअप्स यू कैन से ऑफ इंडिया नाउ. लाइक so you can go by resources, MSME, government, जिसमें आपको सारी स्कीम्स मिलेगी, मुद्रा, BIRAC, startupgujarat.in, then startupindia.gov.in. Okay, and only my takes on to start your journey is do at least one application oriented project. Okay, so it's very important कि हम सिर्फ प्रोजेक्ट करने के लिए नहीं करते कि हमारे टीचर ने बोला है कि नहीं तुम ये आइडिया ले लो. if they have given you, start exploring what is innovative, what is happening around the project idea or something, and you can also try to propose your idea. So application होना चाहिए. It is, I said, like it should have a commercial potential or societal potential. Okay, build your entrepreneurship pride is very important कि आप है ना प्रोजेक्ट्स के बारे में अपने प्रेजेंट डिस्कस करें अपने फ्रेंड्स, कलीग्स, टीचर्स, फैकल्टीज के साथ. यू कैन यूज योर कॉन्फ्रेंसेस, डिपार्टमेंट इवेंट्स, एनवायरमेंट टू help your idea refine more. Okay, आप बिजनेस प्लान में कंपटीशन करिए, पार्टिसिपेट करिए बिजनेस प्लान कॉम्पिटिशन्स में. स्टार्टअप इंडिया वाले बहुत सारे स्कीम्स लॉन्च करते हैं. इवन इफ यू डोंट बैक द अवार्ड, इवन इफ यू डोंट गेट द प्राइज, जस्ट ट्राई इट वंस. आपको उससे आपकी प्रोजेक्ट में क्या बोलते हैं क्लैरिटी मिलेगी जब 2-3 लोग और देखेंगे, जब they try to see your project when even in first presentation they give you, mentor you, like, to how your project is going on. This is very important. If you want to go into entrepreneurship, you can apply to startup courses and get experience. जैसे EDI में एक diploma course है, EDI Ahmedabad. So up online, you can lot of startup courses are there. And it's very important to find a strong support ecosystem. So your university can be one of them. So it's like you are blessed that you have your university doing this webinar series, okay, to help you understand the entrepreneurship and how to start a startup. So it's very important to use these resources to build onto your idea, okay. And यूनिवर्सिटी के स्टार्टअप ग्रांट्स हैं, कॉम्पिटिशन्स हैं, जो भी जैसे this platform is helping you explore this and go out. And obviously the last is approach any incubators to kickstart your startup project. Yeah, that's all. Thank you. That's all from my side. Yeah. So obviously, if you have spent your time today in listening to me, so obviously, as Franklin said, that investment in knowledge always pays the best interest. So you'll surely get something out of it. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Ritu, for that wonderful presentation.
Yeah.
It was highly informative, and I hope our students will benefit from your talk. I would invite comments or any suggestions from our listeners at the moment. And we have Dr. Abdul Karim, a professor in School of Sciences. Dr. Karim, would you like to say something?
Yeah. Good morning, everyone. And I must say that Ms. Ritu has delivered a nice talk on various aspects regarding the biotechnology and how to attract the various funding agencies like DST, DBT, and other organizations. I hope definitely these are very useful things for the learners who are pursuing their masters and as well as their graduation. But apart from that, I would like to request Dr. Ritu ji to just focus on how important it is to have a patent before going for applying for any innovation or something like that. Is it essential to have a patent to go for applying for any innovative product? Because many a times whenever I interact with students express their views that, sir, if I disclose my idea to someone, it may get misused, something like that. They have apprehension of this. So I request Ms. Rituji to please throw some light on this topic.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Karim. It's a very good question. Yeah, obviously patent is necessary, but if we go by generic, right? If you want to start a e-commerce business or a platform based and app based, so generally patent does not apply much. But if you're obviously working on technology based startups, right? In that case, it is very necessary to at least apply a patent. I have literally witnessed the same, that students do not disclose their ideas because they fear that मेरा idea चोरी हो जाएगा, right? And this is very true, and I totally agree that. So जब आप incubation centers से when you share your idea, right, or if you share it with your friends or you pitch it into your business competition, वहाँ पे भी you have to disclose many of your proposal, many of your idea, right? So in that case, my only advice is, firstly, wherever the patent is possible, any kind of IP is possible. It can be trademark, it can be anything, copyright, it can be patent, whatever it is, you should file for it, okay? And generally in the early stages, students don't understand, okay? So it's very necessary, they should at least find the patentable thing into it, okay? They do some freedom to operate search, right? Freedom to operate search मतलब कि एक बार देख ले कि ये हम कर सकते हैं कि नहीं, right? And इसके लिए I think universities or they should actually attend IP workshops, और बहुत सारे ऐसे institutes हैं जो IP related चीजें कराते हैं to make them understand the IP potential of it. So provisional patent apply करना बहुत जरूरी है. Even if they have a provisional patent, they have some confidence कि नहीं इतना ज़्यादा चोरी, मतलब the idea does not disclose that thing. And the other very important thing is to share the information which is only relevant to the, because students को पता ही नहीं होता है, वो कुछ मतलब सब बता देते हैं, right? कभी कभी कुछ लोग ऐसे होते हैं, literally they tell everything about their project. They tell कि हमने ऐसे बनाया, हमने ऐसे किया, हमने ये experiment किया. This is very important कि जो confidential information है वो share ना करें, और जो non confidential information है वो ही share, मतलब जो कि like they give the मतलब आगे वाले पर्सन को आप उतना बताएं जो कि जरूरत है उसे, और इंस्टेड ऑफ लाइक एज आई से एग्जांपल कि अगर एक एंजाइम से आप ये प्रोसेस को लीड कर सकते हैं तो आप एंजाइम का नेम डिस्क्लोज ना करें, आप ये करें कि ये ग्रुप ऑफ एंजाइम्स हैं, ये फैमिली से बिलोंग करते हैं, जिससे हमारा प्रोडक्ट बनेगा. सो इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट कि आपका कॉन्फिडेंशियल इन्फॉर्मेशन जो आपको नहीं शेयर करना चाहिए किसी और से, वो ना करें जब तक आपका पेटेंट फाइल नहीं होता है. तो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल पेटेंट अप्लाई करना बहुत जरूरी है. जैसे कि मैंने कहा कि गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया लाइक मैंने आई थिंक पेटेंट का कवर नहीं किया है, बट ऑब्वियसली देयर आर स्कीम्स इनटू गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया जो आपको हेल्प करता है पेटेंट एप्लीकेशन के लिए इन फॉर्म ऑफ लाइक यू कैन अप्लाई टू दैट पेटेंट स्कीम, बट दैट विल गिव यू इन टर्म्स ऑफ रीएम्बर्समेंट मतलब आप अप्लाई कर दो, आप अपना खर्चा कर लो, बाद में आप यू कैन टेक बैक द मनी, राइट. एंड ऑल्सो जैसे कि गवर्नमेंट ऑफ गुजरात में से स्कीम है स्टार्टअप स्टूडेंट पॉलिसी, उसमें आप बच्चे जो होते हैं स्टूडेंट्स जो होते हैं वो लोग इस स्कीम के थ्रू अपना पेटेंट फाइल कर सकते हैं, राइट. जिससे मैंने कहा कि 25,000 का इंडियन पेटेंट अप्लाई करने के लिए, उनको डोमेस्टिक पेटेंट अप्लाई करने के लिए दे हैव गिवन द ग्रांट, ओके. एंड इवन फॉर 5 लाख फॉर दिस थिंग, ओके. जैसे कि बायोटेक पॉलिसी है, उसमें भी दे हैव स्कीम जहाँ पे वो लोग 2 to 5 लाख तक का ग्रांट देते हैं. तो बस यही है कि फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल उनको पेटेंटेबल है कि नहीं ये सब जानना जरूरी है. और दूसरी चीज है कि स्कीम्स तो अवेलेबल हैं, वो अप्लाई कर सकते हैं. एंड यूनिवर्सिटीज कैन सपोर्ट इनटू हेल्पिंग देम फाइल द बेसिक पेटेंट लाइक प्रोविजनल पेटेंटिंग एटलीस्ट. और एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है इन गुजरात, आई नो, गुजकोस्ट करके एक है जो कि रियली में हेल्प करते हैं ऑल द इनोवेशंस को पेटेंट फाइल करने में. They do it, I think, in minimal cost or free of cost. That I remember. Yeah, I think that's answer the question.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ms. Ritu. Thank you.
Yeah, welcome.
Thank you, Dr. Karim and Ms. Ritu. We have with us Professor Shachi Shah. Would Professor Shachi like to say anything? Okay, as we wait for her, I would request Dr. Jyotsna Dikshit to say a few words, please. Dr. Jyotsna.
Thank you, Dr. Momita. My namaskar to each and everyone. And Ritu ji, आपको बहुत बहुत बधाई इसलिए क्योंकि you are young, you are energetic, and the way you have presented. देखिए, आपका जो टॉपिक था वो काफी टेक्निकल नेचर का था, लेकिन आपने शुरुआत की जो बेसिक है इसका, हम जब फाइनेंशियल फंडिंग की या असिस्टेंस की बात करते हैं तो हमने कुछ नया किया, कुछ इनोवेटिव किया, और वो सोसाइटी के लिए किया और हम सोसाइटी को देना चाहते हैं. फाइनेंशियल असिस्टेंस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, बट आपने स्टूडेंट्स को बताने के लिए क्रिएटिविटी, इनोवेशन, यहाँ तक एक मिनिमम वायबल प्रोडक्ट बताने की लाइफ साइकिल भी आपने अपने छोटे से प्रेजेंटेशन में वो भी स्टूडेंट्स को बता दिया. स्टार्टअप भी टच कर दिया, इंक्यूबेटर्स किस तरह के होते हैं वो भी टच अप कर दिया. और फिर आपने जिस तरीके से वृहद रूप में आज इतनी सारी गवर्नमेंट स्कीम्स स्टूडेंट्स को, और भी स्कीम्स जो है स्टेट की स्कीम्स, नेशनल लेवल की स्कीम्स स्टूडेंट्स को बताई हैं, आई एम श्योर कि इससे जो है हमारे स्टूडेंट्स को बहुत ज़्यादा फायदा होगा. और मेरा अनुरोध है जो सारे स्टूडेंट्स फेसबुक के थ्रू भी देख रहे हैं, यूट्यूब के थ्रू देख रहे हैं, और आगे भी जो देखेंगे अभी इन सेशंस को, क्योंकि हमारे रिपोजिटरी में अल्टीमेटली जाएंगी सारी चीज़ें, कि वो इन स्कीम्स का फ़ायदा उठाएं और जो वेबसाइट्स और चीज़ें बताई गई हैं उनको कहीं अपना बुकमार्क कर लें, क्योंकि ये चीज़ें लगातार अपडेट होती रहती हैं. और टू बी फ्रैंक इनफ स्टूडेंट्स, there is ample of projects, ample of money available with the government to fund your innovative startup. द थिंग इज दैट कि आपको, जैसे कि रितु जी ने भी बताया कि बहुत विभिन्न प्रकार के बिजनेस प्लान कॉम्पिटिशन्स और विभिन्न प्रकार के इनोवेशन कंटेस्ट होते रहते हैं. एक हमारा मिनिस्ट्रीज इनोवेशन सेल जो है वो भी करता है, कई सारे इंस्टीट्यूट्स भी कर रहे हैं, इग्नो भी करता है. आप उसमें जरूर भाग लें, जिससे कि आपका जो एक आइडिया है, जो इनोवेशन है, जो आप सोसाइटी के लिए कुछ करना चाहते हैं, वो सही रूप में फलीभूत हो. और आजकल तो स्टार्टअप्स का ही जमाना है. तो with these words, thank you very much, Dr. Momita, to give me a chance to speak. And Ritu ji, certainly all of us will be in touch with you. And once again, a lot of congratulations from my side. The way you have presented is wonderful. A very good experience. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the kind words, Raji. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Jyotsna. We have Dr. Anupriya Pandey with us. She is a professor in management. Dr. Pandey, would you like to say a few words?
Sorry, I was taking a call, so I couldn't respond earlier. Yes, I would say Ms. Ritu, she has given a very informative session today, which is very useful for the students. And she has actually, if you remember, I keep on telling people that if you really have the zeal to do something, to have your own startup, having money is not a problem. Funding is not a problem. So she has in fact seconded that thought, that statement that I give. And it was very, very informative, especially at various levels, what kinds of financial assistance schemes are there, which the students can take advantage of it. And even the faculty members, our colleagues also. So that was a very, very informative session. Thank you very much, Dr. Momita, Dr. Sharma, Dr. Dikshit, for organizing such wonderful and informative sessions. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. It's my pleasure. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Anupriya. Now I request Dr. Sujata Santosh to say a few words. Dr. Sujata, please.
Yeah, hello everyone. It was really very nice presentation and lecture by Ritu Trivedi ji. It was really enlightening, and I feel that students might have greatly benefited. She explained all the nitty-gritties related to innovation, entrepreneurship, and startups, which the students don't have much clarity about, and the students need, they have their own queries, their own questions. What are these, and how to get a grant, what are the government schemes to get a grant, and how to go about, how to take their idea forward. And so it was very informative. I personally congratulate Ritu for such a nice elaboration on the topic. It was really enriching for all of us. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Sujata. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Sujata. Now I would invite Dr. Upi Sharma to say a few words, please. Dr. Sharma.
Dr. Momita, we have Harshal Sangvi also. I think he has joined.
Yeah.
He would like to say something. Mr. Harshal, are you there?
Yes.
Yes.
Hello everyone, very good morning, and I'm sorry I was not able to join before due to some work, but I'm sure Ritu ji has enlightened all the points related to bioengineering and financial startups, because I have heard her since a long time when we were working together in Gujarat as well. So thank you so much, Ritu ji, for accepting our invitation and remaining present today. And I now hand over to Dr. Upi Sharma. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Hassel. As all I have told, that really this session was very informative and useful, I think, for these students. Though the topic was on that bioengineering and biotechnology, but I have seen in general it is useful for all the students who are willing to pursue their startup or entrepreneurship. Because the schemes which you have highlighted, they are almost common, and then in what conditions and how students can take benefit of those schemes, very elaborately you have highlighted, with lots of examples that you have taken care. Case studies also, few case studies that I think they will motivate the students to take up their idea and convert them into a startup. Because we all know that whenever we talk to the students, always they say from where we will get fund. Always there, this is the question. This is, I can say, the first question which anybody comes in contact with us. And IGNOU is very much interested in helping, guiding, and supporting, nurturing those all students who are willing to do something at their own, maybe in the form of business, enterprise, or a startup. And you have said there are a lot of schemes, but the problem is that there is a gap between the schemes and the students. So the type of talks or the session which you have taken today, I hope this will fill up the gap. This is our objective also, to connect the students with the government schemes, because any university or any organization, they may not be funding the students for any kind of startup or business, but certainly we aim at guiding them, helping them how to get that funding. Not only providing information about different funding agencies as you have highlighted today, but our focus is how to prepare that business plan. We have been organizing various kind of activities, right from idea generation to the final business plan development. And then this kind of sessions will certainly help them in getting the funding and other resources. Mainly you have focused the government agencies, and we know the government agencies are providing a lot of funds. So in that sense, the session is very useful, and I hope our students will be benefited by it. And I look forward to get in touch with you, get your support in future also, and we would like to take your benefit of your experience to our students. And we have very large number of students, so what you are saying, this will reach to a very large number of students across the country, and I think they will be benefited by that. So thank you very much for taking today's session. And I thank all participants also, my colleague who have joined live with us. Thank you very much to all of you. Now, Dr. Momita, you can take it further.
Thank you, Dr. Sharma. So we come to the end of this program, and now it is time to convey our gratitude to our speaker, Ms. Ritu Trivedi, for sparing her valuable time to deliver such a wonderful talk. Thank you, Ritu.
Yeah.
I would like to thank our IGNOU faculty members who have been present here today throughout the session to listen to Ms. Ritu and providing their comments and suggestions about the topic. I would like to thank the members of the Institutional Innovation Council who have been present here to attend this session. I would like to thank all the regional directors who have taken special efforts to popularize this program, and all the students who are listening in. My special thanks goes to Mr. Rajesh Sharma, who always makes it a special effort that all these Facebook Live sessions are on air without a glitch. So thank you, Mr. Rajesh Sharma. My thanks to Dr. O.P. Sharma, Director NCID, and my colleagues, Dr. Jyotsna Dikshit and Dr. Sujata Santosh, and Mr. Pawan and Mr. Praveen for their continuous support. I thank you very much. So I hope that this session was useful to you, and see you next week. Till then, namaste.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone. Yeah.
Thank
you for inviting Dr. Sharma. Thank you so much. And I look forward to, with the help of Harshil, I'm able to connect, and, we look forward to helping and motivating students to take up entrepreneurship and take ahead. Thank you, everyone, for your time. And I hope this is useful and benefit for the students. We can be in touch and also help students to guide further. As you said, applying to grants also is not easy. So
certainly we will be in touch, because this Facebook Live is one activity. Yeah. We have many other activities focusing to help our students. Idea to Startup, that's a very big flagship scheme. We are inviting ideas and then nurturing them, and aim is to convert them into startup. Similarly, IGNOU Udyami is a program that we are identifying the students who are willing to set up their startups like that, and then accordingly we have planned to guide them and support them. And in all these activities we need support people like you. Harsal has always been, and now he has become a part and parcel of all our activities.
Yeah.
And I'm thankful to you that he introduced us to you, and now you will also be part of our
Sure.
this
We'll look forward.
endeavor.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.